Hey guys, welcome to my review for Captain America, the First Avenger. The basic plot takes place in the 1940s during World War II. However, it's bookended in the beginning by part in the modern day, with Captain America being frozen and found, and then it bookends at the end, also being in the modern day, setting up for the Avengers. However, the 1940s storyline follows Steve Rogers, a 90-pound asthmatic who has repeatedly been denied enlistment for the Army due to his stature and his weak body. However, a government scientist, a Dr. Erskine, notices his tenacity and his willingness to serve his country, and he enrolls him in the Super Soldier program. Through circumstances that you'll see in the movie, I don't want to spoil it, Steve Rogers becomes the only successful candidate and the result of the Super Soldier program, and he becomes Captain America. However, since he was the only one, the program's kind of deemed a failure, and he's treated as just a patriotic symbol to increase morale, and he does a song and dance number kind of thing. He's selling bonds and helping out the home front. And eventually he becomes tired of this, and the other soldiers don't respect him. However, he eventually proves himself in combat, becoming the super soldier that Captain America is supposed to be. And he sets out to stop the Red Skull and Hydra, which is a branch off of the Nazis. So that's the basic plot. Stylistically, I thought this movie was very good. It looked and felt like the 1940s, while there are some sci-fi aspects of it, obviously. The environments, the sets, they kind of had more of a, I guess for lack of a better word, kind of more of a brownish tinge to it. I know that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it looked old, and it felt like vintage 40s, and it felt like it was 1940s America, which is what it was going for, and I really liked that. The costume design and the makeup, especially the makeup for Red Skull, which is really makeup, not CGI, was very good. The costume design looks authentic. I like the costume design of Cap. It looks functional with all the pouches and stuff. Like, it looks like something that would be kind of feasible. Chris Evans does an excellent job as Captain America in this. I know some people were worried to begin with because, for the most part, he's been not so much of a serious character. He was in Fantastic Four as the Human Torch. He's known for comedy, some sarcastic quips. However, he does an excellent job here. I was really impressed that they really stayed true to the character of Captain America. He puts everyone else before himself, and he's out to serve others. He's an earnest person. He's just a heroic person. He feels like a leader. And I think that was a real concern going into the Avengers, whether an actor of Robert Downey Jr.'s caliber would outshine Chris Evans, and he wouldn't really feel like the leader of the Avengers. I think for the most part, some of those fears have been put to rest because he has done a great job here. Stanley Tucci as Dr. Erskine also does a great job. The kitschy German accent is a little meh, but he really does a great job in being the motivation for Steve Rogers to stay true to himself and be the hero that he's destined to be. I really liked his role, and he did a great job. Tommy Lee Jones and Haley Atwell as Colonel Phillips and Peggy Carter are serviceable. Jones as the angry army colonel with a few, funny lines, and Atwell as the love interest. She does a decent job. There's just not a whole lot there in terms of romance development, but it's a superhero movie, so what's there is fine and mostly believable. Hugo Weaving, on the other hand, who's the villain of Red Skull, while he's definitely menacing and he looks like he's enjoying his role, being evil and laughing and crazy, the character of Red Skull is underdeveloped. He just spends most of the time reminding you why he's evil without really telling you too much about his motivations or really getting a whole lot of understanding about the character, which, it wasn't the character of Red Skull and Hugo Weaving. It wasn't a bad job by any means, but I almost wished you could learn a little bit more about his character. A little more time spent fleshing him out. The origin story of superhero movies, I think, is really done to death, and for the most part, they're all pretty predictable, and Captain America's no real difference. However, that's maybe needed. I mean, there's slight variations in every superhero's origin, but perhaps they're needed in this. But the portion of the movie where they're parading Cap around, trying to get him to, just build morale and whatnot, is a little too long. It's not needed as much. The ending, I thought, was just kind of bad. It ends on a cliffhanger. It leaves a lot of things unanswered, or leaves a lot for the Avengers to answer. It's just like, let's introduce you to some characters, not really find out what happened to them, because they don't matter anymore, because then the Avengers story is in the future. So overall, it was a very good movie, though. It struck a balance between action and storytelling, and I think it's probably the best superhero movie of the summer. So I know I've been nitpicking a bit, but it's definitely worth seeing. And, if you consider yourself a fan of Marvel's movies and the lead up to the Avengers, definitely worth your time. Thanks for watching.